wasn't in my other area. I was just living up to the Today, we are going to be talking about a few new cases and some things that are starting to look a little scary. So, let's see. I always get confused on this. Do I do this? There we go. So, yeah, there's a lot of different. Why do I feel like I never can clean these right? There's a lot of different stories. I'm going to go ahead and end the other live. Um, yeah, I just wanted you guys to know what was going on in Houston. They always got some things going on out there, and I'm always teasing Shay. So, yeah, let me end that over there. I know they're gonna be like, "What the heck happened?" But you guys should be able to find out about that stuff. It's on the news. Whew. Today was a long day. Hey, Shay. I was warming up my coffee. I got these new Starbucks cinnamon coffees. The only thing I'm missing is the almond creamer. I put the Snickers one in there, and I'm just not a fan of like chocolate coffee type things. I don't like mocha. It's like, yeah, I just don't like chocolate. If it was white chocolate, then that's different. But yes, okay. So I did. Hold on, where's my phone? Because I got Cash Apps. I think I will wait until, is this updated? I see her pop in here. 5 people in the other live. Oh no. Well, I ended the other live, so they'll know to pop up over here. I already told them that I was gonna be it still says I'm live actually. I don't know. Let me see. I like that I can control it from my phone even when I'm not actually at the desk, but I should say that it's over because I ended the broadcast. But you guys know I mess that up all the time anyway. And I'll be still on. Oh, I am. I am over there. No? Oh no, I am over there. But it's ended, right? I don't know. I'll just let them know. Can I even do that? I can't do that. So if you guys want to do that, mods or anything, bounce over there and tell them because I can't do it from here. I don't think I can. But let me exit so it won't have me into lives. Cool. Okay, it says I'm not live anymore. So I've been seeing a lot of issues with fentanyl. We have Shay told me earlier about a 13-year-old that overdosed. Was it on the 8th? We're going to hear about that in a second. 13 years old. They found 100 bags of fentanyl in this boy's room. 100. So we're going to check that out. We also are going to Cali, we got stuff going on here too. There's a little 16-year-old girl that was shot in the neck and thrown at the entrance of the 110 freeway in LA. 16. I believe she's on the thumbnail. Let me see. Yeah, so that's her with the 2 braids. You know what? I need to send myself another picture because she looks so baby young in her pictures. And I'm just like, it makes no sense that I'll show you guys on here when we get there. So what I'm going to do real quick is we're going to look into that little boy. I'm trying to find his name, but I already know how that is. When you when you're dealing with a minor, it's hard to find out a lot of stuff about it. But I found a good news clipping about it where they're talking to like professors and stuff like that. So we're going to check that out. I just don't know how a 13-year-old will get that amount of fentanyl. Like, where is this coming from? It's it's sad. It like scares me for my son, you know. Yeah. All right, so let's check this out. I'm gonna drink some of my tea. I almost burnt my lips off. I warmed it too much. Yes, please save this world. So check this out, y'all. Check this out. Let me know if I echo.
Warning of a surge in overdose deaths from fake prescription drugs. The warning comes as the CDC estimates more than 93,000 Americans died, a record high, from drug doses in 2020 alone. The agency says the counterfeit pills are being laced with fentanyl.
So check this out. This is Xanax bars or Xannies or school buses, whatever they want to call it. Children, they're making them look just like the regular ones. And instead of putting whatever it is for anxiety in it, they are putting fentanyl in this, and you never know the milligram of anybody's fentanyl. I don't even know how is it made. Is it made the same way heroin is? Like, I don't know. This is crazy. I think that this needs to be jumped on quickly. So they're saying 9.5 million plus counterfeit pills containing fentanyl and meth seized this year. And I recently lost my friend, Keandra, to something similar to this. You don't know what people are giving you. I'm like, if it ain't got my name on it and I got it from CVS or Walgreens, I'm good. I don't know.
On methamphetamine. It's the DEA's first public safety alert in 6 years. The last was in 2015, when officials warned of a rise in fentanyl-laced heroin. For more, I want to bring in Dr. Ayanna Jordan. She's an assistant professor of psychiatry at Yale University School of Medicine. Doctor, thank you so much for spending some time with us on what is a really important and probably too often discussed subject, but one that really affects people in incredible ways. How broadly has the pandemic impacted access to addiction treatment?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on and covering this such an important topic. The pandemic has made it much more difficult for people to access substance use treatment. I try not to use abuse because that's a derogatory term, so really wanting to make sure people understand substance use treatment. It's made it harder because there is difficulty accessing physicians. A lot of people have scaled down in terms of their in-person office hours, and so many people are relying on telehealth in order to see their physicians. And if you don't have access to Wi-Fi or the technology to be able to access treatment, is much, much harder. There have been some gains within the pandemic to make it easier for people who are already in treatment to get access to their medication. For example, there is a medication that's called methadone that treats people with opioid use disorder, and it is much easier in terms of them to get their medication. They used to have to come in every single day, up to 6 days a week to get their medication. And during the pandemic, there were regulations to allow them to get their medication for 14 days or 28 days instead of coming every day. But again, that's for people who are already engaged in treatment. And so it's much more difficult because there's just a lot less availability of physician time. Also, there's been a decrease specifically in addiction psychiatry specialists going into the field. So it's really hard overall, and we're going to see the consequences of people not being able to get into addiction treatment. We're already seeing them now and have been, quite frankly, for the last 10 years.
Yeah. So back to that new warning from the DEA. What kind of counterfeit pills are being found, and what makes them so dangerous and deadly?
Yeah. So what's happening, and again, I just wanted to reiterate that this is not something that is new. I mean, I'm glad that the DEA is talking about it, but again, we've been seeing this uptick in drug overdose death from fentanyl for the last 5 to 6 years. And so what the DEA is bringing attention to is pills that are laced with fentanyl. They are really seen as actual opioid pills, something that you would see like a Percocet or medicine that you would get from the actual doctor. But again, it is it's counterfeit. So this is what people are coming in contact with, and is really causing the unintentional overdoses. Now, one of the things I want to say is that pills are not the only way that people are using these substances and are being exposed to fentanyl. We're seeing it in methamphetamine. Exactly. We're seeing it in Xannies, or what's called Xanny bars. We're seeing it in heroin and cocaine. So the real issue is not having access to a safe supply of substances, and people not knowing that there is this fentanyl, which is a man-made opioid that is in the supply. So I get that there's a focus on the pills, but I just want us to be more broad reaching and understanding that people are getting access to fentanyl through methamphetamine, Xanax, heroin, cocaine, other things beyond the pills, which is contributing to this massive increase in drug overdose deaths, for sure.
No, yeah, absolutely. And that's a good reminder. How can users tell whether they've gotten fentanyl or meth instead of something else?
Just don't
do it. Such a good question. No. So as an addiction specialist,
I wouldn't even have someone even try to guess what's in these things. No, just don't even guess. If you have not gotten it from your doctor, you went to the pharmacy, actually picked it up, stapled bag, all of that. No, people are playing with their lives, and this is just crazy.
Specialist, one of the things that I talk about all the time is the best way that you know that you can to know if something is in your substance is to test it. And unfortunately, in the United States, we have no way to test the supply.
What is this woman telling us to do? To test it? No, I wouldn't even give anybody that suggestion to test it. You don't know how strong these things are. You can't. Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me show you this real quick. Where did it save to? I want to show you this, because for her to say test it, that is psychotic to me, to tell people to test it first. Where is it at? No, you know what? I'm gonna let her continue, and then I'm gonna show you guys after. I don't know why she's saying to test it. That makes no sense to me at all. What are you gonna do? Lick it first? Take a little pin drop? What? No.
That people are using. And so one of the things that a lot of harm reductionists and addiction specialists are calling for is for safe testing sites. And these are implemented in Spain and Switzerland and Belgium and Austria and Portugal and even in the Netherlands, where people are actually able to test to see if they have fentanyl in their illicit substance, whether it be a pill, whether it be cocaine, whether it be methamphetamines. And that way, if they find the presence of fentanyl, they know not to use it. Unfortunately, this is not widely available in this country, and it is really leading to unnecessary and reversible deaths. So when I am treating patients in the clinic, I actually give them fentanyl strips, and I teach them how they can dilute the product, use the strip, and if it 2 lines come up, you know that it's positive and you don't want to use it. But again, those are for people who are already in treatment, and lots of people who use substances are not in treatment. We know it's harder to get access to treatment in the pandemic. So we want to increase access to drug checking sites. But the only way to know, because you can't tell by looking at it, you can't tell, is to actually test the substance itself.
And for those who are battling drug addiction, especially right now in the pandemic where there may be concern about access to people like you who can help with this? What resources would you recommend, and where should they turn if they're seeking treatment?
I
Yeah.
don't like what they're
Yeah,
saying.
thank you so much. One of the best resources is SAMHSA, which really is the mental health and addiction site for the country. And so to access that, you want to go to, that's the SAMHSA National Helpline. It's 1-800-662-HELP or 1-800-666-4357.
666.
For people who do have access to the internet,
I'm feeling this
another
lady, y'all.
easy way is to go to samhsa.gov, SAMH.
Do you guys hear what they're saying? To try it, to, test it a little bit. Who wants to test it a little bit? I mean, I haven't heard any good stories of any of this to go ahead and be like, okay, let me test it a little bit. Now, I do feel like they should have sites to where if people are going to, they're addicted to this stuff, they can't get off of it, and they're willing to, risk their lives. Okay, yeah, have them be able to have a place where they can go get whatever it is tested, just like they have places, I believe it's in San Francisco. I could be wrong, don't quote me. San Francisco, where they have places to where people can go get safe needles for heroin. And I'm not sure if you do, what's that thing called? Meth like that either. But if you do, I believe it's like, you can see, like you can get that, the syringes there, so you won't, because they have the biggest outbreak of hepatitis C, and also hepatitis C and something else, AIDS. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So that's why they made it to where they can go and get, needles and stuff from there. Let me back her up because she was trying to give you guys some good information of what I just feel like just don't do it.
664-357.
Who
Here we go.
Can help with this? What resources would you recommend, and where should they turn if they're seeking
To
treatment?
God.
Yeah,
Turn
thank
to
you so
God.
much. One of the best resources is SAMHSA, which really is the mental health and addiction site for the country. And so to access that, you want to go to, that's the SAMHSA National Helpline. It's 1-800-662-HELP or 1-800-666-4357. For people who do have access to the internet, another easy way is to go to samhsa.gov, SAMHSA.gov, and then you can key in where you can get access to addiction treatment by your state and also in your county. So that's a really nice way to try and get help for sure.
Well, Dr. Ayanna Jordan, we appreciate you taking some time on an issue that continues to affect so many across the country amid all the other problems we have. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay, Miss Ayanna. I thank you for your advice, but to me, she's crazy as heck. The girl is out of her mind. I'm sorry. I don't know if she just said it wrong or because he said it. So what is what do you suggest? Try it first. Test it first. What do you want them to do? How? Test it how? The liquid, put a little bit, no. So let me show you what I found. So we already seen this one, right? So I'm believing that this one is legit from the doctors. So she was saying, I looked it up. These Xanax, the long ones, that's fake. And these, I believe this is Percocet. Let me see. Okay, this one. Let me read it. This one is oxycodone, and this one is Xanax. So on the screen, the longer one, boom, that's Xanax, and then the circular ones, that's the oxycodone. And the real Xanax comes in, I believe it was the yellow, and white, and then this blue, I think, here, I got the picture of this right here. Hold on. So yeah, I guess the fake, okay, look, oxycodone, real, you see how it is, and then fake. So when I looked it up, I think there's like sites. I didn't get to look into it all the way. I don't know if you can get it on Amazon. It's somewhere where you can get a kit to where you can, let me take this off. It's like a kit that you can, like, I guess, make up a mixture of the stuff, and you like press it, and it makes it look like the pill. So if someone's not paying attention, they'll just be like, oh, okay, that's the same thing on the blue side. And then the Adderall, oh, I didn't know that was doing it to Adderall. Isn't it that I think Adderall is that study drug that the kids do in college. I believe I'm right. I believe that's right. So yes, okay, so this is fentanyl. Is it right? Yeah, this one's fentanyl. And these are the 3 different ways. It could come in a pill. It could come in a powder, which that 13-year-old had. And I'm going to show you guys that next. I just wanted to give you guys some advice on what they say is the best to do. And then I don't, and then this syringe thing, I believe, is the liquid form of fentanyl. So I think they should be able to tell, because if that's the fake kind and this is the real kind, that looks clear to me. But I wouldn't say to try it at all. I wouldn't have her advice and say try it. So I was trying to find that picture of what it looks like when heroin compared to fentanyl, and it's like a real that's like a real minute, like you could barely see anything in the container. It was like a little bit of dust. And they said that little bit of dust, you can get an overdose on that comparing to the amount of the heroin. I believe it was heroin. Yeah, because it was a powder thing. Yes. So this one, see, that's what's so confusing me. I don't know. I just say, look, y'all, look, just don't do it. Just don't even do it. I mean, that's my best advice. Let me go to the comments. I was not ignoring you guys, but yeah, Shay, I seen that. She's crazy. I think they should take that off air. In the clouds. Do you know? Like your job? Oh, recognize real. Thank you. Keeping people addicts. Yep. Keeping people as addicts. No. Just don't do it. Just don't. Nah, I don't. FDA. Bill Gates, you think they should just try it real quick? Just test it. She needs to test it. You know what? Yeah, I think she should test it for everybody. But did she say that she offers her people a strip to test it? What that sounds like to me is that how you can do the, the shot test, the COVID test. I didn't want to say it like that. How you can do that, and it looks like a little pregnancy test too. I think, yeah, you can take I didn't open the box. My son got it from school. Yeah, but it's supposed to look like a little test, little thing like that. And if you look on it, it looks like a little, wait. Ooh, I can't get it to focus. There we go. See how it looks like a little pregnancy test in that, and then this. So I don't know how it really works, but yeah, they should. You know what? Instead of telling people to try it first, I think they should make a little test like this. I mean, people are going to do it anyway and try it and kill themselves. So they should make that, get it in the store. Hey, Preach, how are you? Going back to the bushes, Christina. That's cool. Oh, yeah. And by the way, this is in Connecticut. So the young lady that Lauren, is it Lauren? I'm getting them. Lauren Smith Fields. The young lady that we're not quite sure if she was slipped it, if the guy gave it to her. Like I said, I kind of don't feel like it. And we're going to see what his lawyer says. I believe he says she went down. She didn't really get anything from downstairs, so he's thinking that she went and got like some type of pill or something and took that, and that's why when she came back up, she was feeling sick. So we'll see that. But the Lauren girl was in Connecticut. This little boy I'm about to show you, he's in Connecticut. So to me, it looks like they're having a surge of like fentanyl out there or something, because he had 100 baggies of the fentanyl. And when they went to the school, he had there was more found at the school in the lockers of the other kids as well. So somebody's giving it to these children, and it needs to be figured out quick. Real recognized Real says, from Connecticut we have a big. Oh, you're from Connecticut. From Connecticut, we have a big fentanyl problem here, and a child from Hartford, Connecticut died. Oh, yes. Okay. At school, the kid was only 13. That's what we're about to look at right now. Walking around like zombies. What? Who's giving these kids that? Hold on. I need to look at where this is at. Y'all know I'm like off. I'm trying to see how close it is to the border. Wait, where'd it go? Where'd you go, Connecticut? Where'd it go? It like was showing it to me and then it went away. Where'd it go? Okay, right here. You're so little, Connecticut. So it's by Little Rhodes Island. Okay, so New York. But how is it getting up? How is it getting way over there like that? I mean, it's close to the water, so I can see that, but they need to do something about that. Kids don't even know what they're doing. They probably think they're cool doing the new cool drug, and it's killing themselves. Tell you the truth, we all are test subjects with. Yep, we are. We are. I just know I don't want to get all these shots and stuff they're trying to do to us. And we thought, oh, bath salts were bad. I'm confused at the bath salts. Bill Gates, is the bath salts? Hold on. Is the bath salts is it really bath salt, or is it that stuff that when you go to the store it kind of looks like marijuana, but it looks like potpourri? Is that what bath salts are? The one K-Spice, K-Spice, I think it is K-Spice or something like that, and that makes people like want to eat each other. Yeah, I knew you meant bath salts. That's the one that makes people eat each other's face, right? And it looks like fake weed. I think. I could be wrong. Okay, so that I'm talking about. It was put in the food. What? I thought he had it in his room. Are we talking about the same case where the little boy had it in his room with marijuana and the kids were eating? And it's a big checkup. So wait a minute. Did staff put it in there? What's going on? Real recognized Real. You need to let me know. This is my Instagram. You guys go ahead and please go follow me. That way you'll know when I'm coming on. You guys know I've been random lately. Just, yeah. Oh, you don't have IG? Well, Facebook. Let's see. I'm pretty sure you can Google it though. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that when we get off of here. I'm going to look into that because that's crazy that it's children. Like, I want to know how they got it in the food. Hey, Rhea, baby, how are you? Oh, these little bot people. Some kids stealing it from uncles who's the plug. Uncle the plug. Oh my gosh, I seen this shirt. And I know it's a bad shirt to have, but it really had like, it said like, I'm the plug, but it had like the, the real plug. Like you got to put it in the socket. I was laughing when I seen that. I don't know. The bath salts you put in your bath water. Wait a minute. So they're going to the pharmacy getting bath salts like from the Shay, you kidding? So they go into the corner store, the whatever, getting the bath kind, and they're smoking. What are they doing with it? I was not supposed to make folks wig out. It was fake coke. Oh, fake coke. They sniff gauge. So the K2 is the weed, the fake weed. The bath salts is the fake coke. Wow. Is that what this has come to? We're talking about the high school. I'm going to have to look into that one. Because the one Shay sent me, and I think this is the one I'm looking at right here, unless they're just having multiple cases, this is crazy. But it's very scary. Yo, oh, Jeanette, I have your tickets to go into the $100. So, woo. I was like, I gotta see her in here before I do it. So thank you. And we will be doing that on, I was gonna say St. Patrick's. No, it is St. Patrick's Day. But come on, break. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There goes your 8 bill. And then the free one, I already told you guys we're doing that on my birthday. So I could turn up with y'all one time. Let's see. Okay, so not Epsom salt. No, not Epsom salt. But you know, like you get like they're like pink and whatever, and they got fragrances. That's what they're doing. You're welcome, boo. No problem. Oh, because you play music, girl. You could get you a quick little IG real quick. You know, it's not really, you don't gotta go crazy with IG. The other ones are kind of like time consuming. All right, so let's go to this video that I had popped up. Right here. All right, let's see. So let me see which one is this is.
On January 13th, a 13-year-old boy overdosed on fentanyl at the Sport and Medical Sciences Academy in Hartford. 2 days later, he died. Hartford police have now identified a person of interest in the case.
When we say person of interest, all that means at this point in the investigation is we've identified an individual who has history at the juvenile's residence, who also has narcotics history.
In a search of the teen's home, police found approximately 100 additional bags of...
Wait a minute. Okay, so there's someone at this kid's home. I didn't get that the first time, but it said it was in his bedroom, the one that I seen. So I'm gonna grab another one. I'm gonna try to grab the one that Shay sent me. Shay, can you send that to my email if you can? If not, it's fine. But I want to see both of them because I think they said they found it of the 100 bags in his bedroom. And if they're saying a person of interest, somebody there that has it, Bill Gates is right. They got it from their uncle. That's the plug. It's not funny, y'all. I'm serious.
Fentanyl in the 7th grader's bedroom.
It is shocking. It is concerning.
Police are not calling the person of interest a suspect.
So some information that we need. There are some things we need to do, such as taking the recovered bags from the DEA and doing further testing on it, fingerprints, DNA, which is possible. Hoping to get a hit off of that, maybe identify where the juvenile procured these items from.
According to investigators, the fentanyl found in the 7th grader's home had the same packaging and identifying stamp as the 40 bags of fentanyl found throughout the Hartford Magnet School.
The fentanyl that was found in the bedroom had a very high purity rate. It was 60% pure, which is quite higher than we normally see. We normally see 1 to 2%.
60% pure. So whoever Bill Gates said was the plug is the real deal plug, huh? Wow.
That pure street level sales.
The boy's mother has been cooperating with investigators. Police
better
say
be
she did not
cooperating.
know about the drugs in her son's bedroom.
You know what? She better be cooperating, because whoever's DNA, I hope, well, I don't want to be on their side, but I'm just saying, for their own sake, they better have used gloves, because they are about to get a murder charge. Straight up. I mean, this is crazy, guys. This is too crazy. There's no reason why a 13-year-old should have 100 baggies of fentanyl in his bedroom. No. Then it has the same identifiers and whatever it came in to 40 more bags found at the school. Somebody's going down. I wonder if he ingested it or however it was done himself, trying it out, or did it get on him accidentally? Like, how? This is sad, man. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Yes, legit bath salts. Google it. So y'all telling me people are doing potpourri or that's crazy. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was seriously that. Hey, how you doing, boo? Yeah, this is okay. Let me see. I ain't saying no more. Okay. You was getting it from the plug. Yes. We're going to be talking about that. You know, it's out here in California. And I really want to know who did this. They upped the reward for those that don't know what I'm talking about. I think you say her name. Tiny? I don't know. Tioni. Tioni, yes. She was the 16-year-old little girl found just thrown on the side of the road at the entrance to the 101 freeway in Los Angeles with a gunshot wound to the back of her neck. So you said that was the correct one, row recognized row. So we're talking about the same child. So I'm not even going to really look up anymore. I'm going to go on to I'm going to update you guys on our cases, but I do want to talk about, since it was brought up already, I'm going to move her up. This young lady. I mean, when I seen the pictures of her, I was like, this is a baby. This is a child. And then for them to say they feel like it has something to do with human trafficking, I'm just like, people are sick. And whoever's paying for these little girls are even more sick. And it's just disgusting to me. I can't. Hold on. I'm waiting for this to go away. See, I hate when they do this. Let me refresh it so it can bring it back up. So let me share this. This one is so sad. Not to say any of the other cases aren't sad. But, man, I'm just sick of this happening every single day. It's something new. So check this out real quick.
Theus and the California Highway Patrol holding a vigil today, asking local and state leaders to offer a reward to find her killer. Tioni was shot and killed earlier this month. Her body dumped on the side of the 110 freeway in South LA. Our Amy Powell joining us live now with more. Amy.
Jory, it has been almost 2 weeks since the teenager's body was found on the freeway. Investigators trying to solve her murder and grieving relatives are appealing for help from the public. Family members and community activists were joined by officials from the California Highway Patrol during a news conference gathering near the South Los Angeles location where 16-year-old Tioni Theus was found dead on January 9th. Her body dumped on the 110 freeway on the Manchester Avenue on-ramp near South Figueroa Street. The teen had been shot in the neck.
So look how young this little girl is. Like, hold on. Let me go to the frame. Look at her. Little baby face. Like, come on, man. And then for her to be on Figueroa, y'all know what Fig is. And if you guys don't know, it's the Blade in LA. Why is she even over there? Like they said, it seems like it has something to do with trafficking. And I'm just like, it's just sad. I can't.
Call our investigators.
Family members sharing memories of the 16-year-old girl, calling her a lovable soul. They're also urging anyone with information about her murder to contact authorities, saying if they remain silent, someone else could become a victim.
16 years
Family
old.
of 16-year-old Tioni Theus and
16 years old on Figueroa, dumped on the side of the road. Y'all know it be getting to me, man. I just don't understand. Whoever knows anything about this, go ahead and hit up Crime Stoppers, because that's crazy. Oh my God. No, Jennifer. Oh, rest in peace. Roro, my condolences goes out to you. Yo, what's next? It's just so much going on right now. I've been having like back-to-back anxiety attacks. Like, it just seems like it's just so near. Like, the end is really near. I know, people have been saying that for years, but how things are going, it's just, no, Jennifer, I did not hear that though. I do send out my condolences. Like I said, I will keep her in my prayers. And you guys do too. Roro is like one of the number one go-getters for the boys, the Cal City boys. So yes, I'll put something on my community tab for her, Jennifer. Yo, yeah. Wow. That's exactly what they need to do. That right there. I'm sure if they look in her phone and see who she was talking to, they'll be able to figure it out real quick. Her parents or whatever probably already know or have an idea, but I'm not too sure because they're asking for, they upped the reward because nobody's saying anything. So we're about to see Tioni, I'm saying it probably wrong. Her sister's going to speak out in this one. And it is a business. No, I know it is a business. It is. And it's sad because people don't understand how prevalent it is out here in California. It's done right in law enforcement's face. And until someone passes away, that's when they look into it, because they see these little girls walking up and down and they don't say anything. They don't say anything. Nothing. Some of the police pay for them as well. It's sad, yo. It's sad. Yeah, I'm gonna put something up on my community wall. I know, Roro may feel how she feels about me, but I mean, I don't know her like that. I do see how she, goes hard for the boy. So, I respect that. So, I mean, that's all I really care about is the kids. So I'm going to put something up there for her. That's crazy. Y'all, I'm kind of upset with y'all because I really wanted you guys to go over to both petitions. If you don't have Facebook and you can't get to my Facebook, please type in Ariel Smith, spelled AHREA apostrophe L Smith. Sign her petition, please. It only needs 100 signatures for them to put it through, to where it's not okay for anybody to work a closing night shift alone, because we already have heard what has happened to her. And I'm happy I posted it on my community tab, where they finally went on ahead and gave Tyrone that murder charge, not only abducting. So guys, please go over there and sign it. And then for Lauren, it's also on my my Facebook. I believe I also put it on my community tab, but it doesn't really show it. You guys got to read it. It'll be just one of the text where it's not, there's no picture, and you can just click on the link. Just sign it. All you got to do is write your little email or whatever in there, send it, and it'll ask you, do you want to share it or do you want to donate? If you can't donate, just please share it. Please. 100 signatures. We should be able to do that. Please, y'all. So, all right, let's hear her sister speak, okay? This is the little 16-year-old girl. This is her sister. All right. Let's go. Ooh. That really just made me feel some type of way. That
somebody just to take her life.
Stop. Why isn't it? Oh, it's on mute. Hold on, you guys. It was on mute. Okay.
She was going to be something. She was going to be something in life. And for somebody just to take her life, it breaks my heart.
The loss is still sinking in for the older sister of 16-year-old Tiani Theus.
It's just wrong. She was like really murdered, brutally, and just thrown on the side of the freeway like she meant nothing to nobody. And she has a whole big old family who love her.
As loved ones gather in grief this week, a major new effort to solve Tiani's murder. In a news conference today, LA County DA George Gascon said evidence indicates Tiani may have been a victim of human trafficking. A combined reward in the case has now topped $110,000, with local and state leaders working to push.
And I know somebody knows something. Nobody just shot this little girl in the back of the neck, threw her on the side of the road near Figueroa, and nobody knows. They said they figured if they put a 3-digit reward out there, someone would probably want to speak. You can do it anonymously. If you heard something on the street, even if it's just something little, you think, Nene or Ricky or Boo Boo knows or heard, say something. That little something can end up being something big. So please, y'all, stop not speaking for these children. Stop. Let's go.
Shit even higher.
And for the cowards who did this, we're going to muster the resources that's necessary to bring you to justice. No family should have to go through losing a daughter, a child in this manner.
Tiani's body had been dumped along an entrance ramp to the 110 freeway in South LA, where passing motorists called it in on the morning of January 8th. The teenager had been shot in the neck. Tiani was last seen the night before heading out to meet a friend and go to a party, with no known surveillance images or suspects.
Wait, what? You guys see look at how young she is. You know what? She was going where? I'm sorry. I used to go to parties as well when I was younger, but my mother would know exactly. She's taking me and she's picking me up. And that's if she ain't just sitting outside waiting for me. No.
Out to meet a friend and go to a party. With no known surveillance images or suspect descriptions in the case, hopes are hinging on the significant reward and increased attention.
Time and time again, missing and victimized Black women and girls are overlooked and lack the appropriate media attention in comparison to their counterparts.
Relatives believe a six-figure reward could crack the case, just as it did last week in the stabbing death of UCLA student Brianna Kupfer, though there is dismay that money is motivation.
If anyone has a heart, like, why not just talk and say what you know? Because I know someone has to be out there that's seen or knows something.
Today, CHP indicated that the investigation is moving forward in a positive direction, and they hope to have good news on the case soon. However, they do still plead for public health, public information in the...
Yes, Jennifer. This is horrible. And Watch This TV says, I wonder what color clothes she had on. I don't know what you mean by that. But this part, yeah, where was this party? Was this party on Figueroa? Was she supposed to be over there? Did she say she was going to a party and really went somewhere else? Because that's why my mom was like, I'm going to go get you and your friends. You're not going nowhere by yourself. Shay did put this in there, y'all. If you guys can, please go click on the link. She made it very easy. Go sign it. That's all you have to do is press a couple of buttons to get 100 signatures. Please. Thanks.
This case. Marnie? Nancy, thank you. I want to bring in Tiffany Blacknell now. She is the special advisor to LA District Attorney George Gascon and interim director of the Bureau of Victim Services. We appreciate your time on this important case. You look at Tiani's picture, she is just a kid. Baby. It is heartbreaking what happened to her. First of all, the investigation. Are authorities any closer to closing in on a suspect in this case?
Thank you so much for having me and for highlighting this very important story to the folks here in LA and across the nation. I can't comment on the specifics of the investigation. Obviously, you want to maintain the integrity and ensure that all the evidence is preserved. So I can't comment on how close we are to capturing a suspect, but just know that when a suspect is caught, our office will do a zealous prosecution.
Let's talk about how the public can help them, because there has been a plea for information from the public. They have very little to go on. So are you hoping that someone drove by and saw something, or somebody knows something and is going to share what they know?
Absolutely. We know someone out there knows something. Someone saw her that night or early in that morning. Someone may have saw a car slow down. Someone may have saw anything. They may know her friends. Her friends may know something. Her social media acquaintances may know something. So if you saw something, say something. It's important that our community rallies around this poor child and her family that's missing her tonight and give the information that we know is out there.
Tiffany, this is a high traffic area, as you mentioned. Is there any surveillance or traffic cameras that provided any evidence or clues?
I'm sorry, unfortunately, we can't divulge what evidence we have or that we've secured at this point in this crucial part of the investigation. But it's suffice to say, we don't have anyone in custody. All right. And that's the most important part. No suspect has been identified and no one has been apprehended. And that is the heartbreaking part of the story. It's been 18 days. And we know that after a while, the case gets cold and leads dry up. So we had this press conference today to ensure that that does not happen, to reignite the people in the community of South Los Angeles, to be brave, to speak out, and to give us what they know.
Earlier in the press conference, it was mentioned that Tiani may have been a victim of human trafficking. How does that factor in to the search for her killer?
You know, children that are trafficked, that are sex trafficked in this country live extraordinarily dangerous lives. Their lives can be damaged and it could end from one moment to the next. They're not protected. In fact, they're preyed upon by the most vicious of predators. So of course, this could be a connection. Absolutely.
Are all involved who you've questioned cooperated with the investigation?
I don't know of any uncooperative witnesses, but again, I'm not privy to the internal workings of the investigation.
Let me ask you about some of the family's frustrations. We heard just a moment ago that they were concerned early in the investigation that not enough attention was being paid to Tiani's case, at least not as much as they believed it deserved. And when a child dies, everybody needs to pay attention. Is it fair that 18 days ago, we weren't hearing about this case as much as we're hearing about it now?
Absolutely not. I mean, we don't know what was lost in those 18 days.
See, and that's the thing. This is happening too much with our African-American women. And, I really don't talk like that. But I am seeing it with Lauren. Oh, no, he's a good guy. And, he wouldn't do that. That's where we're going next after this. And then after that, we will be looking at this woman that she went out with her friends and she ended up getting AR'd, drugged, and they robbed her. So I don't know if it's this pandemic that is having everybody go crazy, or if it's that now we're at home and can watch the news a lot more. I don't know.
Memories may have faded, what witnesses may have left town, what could have been destroyed.
Exactly.
We have no idea the damage that this has caused. I would have loved for this to be on the cover of every newspaper in the nation 18 years ago. But sadly, unfortunately, Black girls and women don't get the same attention that other races do when they're victims of violent crime. It wasn't until...
Right. If we're not, and I'm not going to say this like that, but because I covered her as well. If you're not a Gabby Petito, blonde hair, blue eyes, the quote unquote, perfect blonde hair, what's considered perfect in America, then you don't get helicopters flown out and, the FBI running straight in there. Now they do have the FBI in on Lauren's case because her parents are pushing for it. Do you know they're asking about what happened? And the guy is telling them, I'm off of work. I don't know what else you want from me. I already told you what it is. Like, don't call me no more. Like, he just didn't want to be bothered. That's somebody's child. That is a life lost.
The family stood up, community leaders stood up and had a visual that the world starts to notice. And I was triggered by those media reports. And I jumped to attention and contacted all the folks that I knew to have this reward collected in her honor. It shouldn't have taken 18 days. It took way too long, but now that we know, we can never say we didn't know. And those who may not have heard about Tiani Theus 18 days ago should know her name now. And they continue to hear her name until her killer is captured.
Tiffany, we appreciate you coming on tonight. $110,000 being offered in this case. We'll continue to follow it very closely. And for you at home, if you have any information, contact California Highway Patrol. We have that number on your screen tonight. Tiani's family and all of those who knew and loved her.
All right. This is the phone number. I'm writing it down because I'm going to make, and I'll send you guys my link if you guys want to post this on your social media, because we need to start making our people having the whole country stopping and trying to figure out things as well, like any other race. Period. Like I said, we have, and I mean, okay, this was Australia with Cleo. They was up to $1 million. And now we have Harmony that was missing she's been missing for about 2 years now. And she's having everyone stop and are looking for her heavy. But we lost Two, and I'm not going to say lost. What word can I use? We do not know the whereabouts of 2 African-American little boys. 2 going missing at the same time. Just like they were able to find smaller things to, and hold on, I'm gonna have to come on screen for this because I'm getting a little upset. And for them to stop everything for Harmony and this be a worldwide two little boys did not just vanish from this earth like that. It just does not work like that. That's not how things are. It just doesn't work like that. And I don't see how they're fighting for her, how they fought for Gabby. 2 at the same time. That does not happen. There's no way how they went out looking for those children that night that they could have gotten away like that if they really did just walk off. I don't think Trezell knew that the neighbor had a camera that can see where he was. And seeing Jacqueline didn't run outside and she wasn't looking. No, she stayed her little funky ass inside. And I'm sorry for cussing, but she stayed her little behind inside. She only came outside when the police came. So they didn't go looking. So we already knew it was an attempt to act like, okay, if somebody is watching, it could look like, I went outside, I looked around, I drove. You drove around the block, came right back home. And I don't see, I'm not even going to go there right now. Let's just look at, this number right here. I'm also going to, like I said, I'm going to put a little thing together and put it on my community wall. We'll go from there. Let's finish this up.
Want whoever killed her brought to justice. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get.
All right. So I did want to pop this back up there. Where you at, Jennifer? So you said you met Nancy, this reporter, in person, and she has a genuine heart to help find answers. I think that's what's up. I mean, a lot of us we want to find answers. I just don't feel like if you have any melanin in your skin, I just don't feel like America really cares. Unless everybody is protesting. You gotta act crazy for them to want to be like, okay, we'll go see. We'll look into it. I do believe that the police have an ideal of what happened to the boys, and they're not really trying to speak like that because of how a lot of people in Bakersfield and Cal City acted towards the police. I'm going to just put it out there. I mean, it's like they're constantly blaming, but there's really nothing you can do if people aren't speaking. But just like they did Adam Montgomery, Kayla Montgomery, they found reasons to lock their behinds up. And I believe because I was looking at a news clip and it was a girl, she was like not facing the camera. She had on like a heather gray top. I'm thinking that Kayla is speaking. I'm not sure. Because then when she goes to court or asks certain things, she doesn't say anything. So I don't know if she's afraid to say it in public to where, she can be, considered snitching. But this is a baby. This is supposed to be her stepdaughter. And they're putting pressure on the people that last seen them. I don't see that pressure being put on Trezell or Jacqueline. I don't. So I'll digress. I will. I'll calm down for a sec. All right, guys. Let's go to, there's a quick little update with Lauren, the young lady that went on the Bumble date with Matthew that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. And he says he woke up, checked on her. She was breathing. Woke up, checked on her. Blood was coming out of her nose. She wasn't breathing. So checked on her at 3:00. Checked on her at 6:00. Dead, gone. They didn't interrogate him. They didn't take him down. They didn't do any of that. So his lawyer is now speaking on his behalf. Let's just take a quick look. We'll take a quick look. Let me see what's going on in the comments real quick before I do that. I really think things like this are being shared a lot more. Okay, when the pandemic hit us, we watched more and talked more. Yep. That's your opinion. No, but I do see that, Jennifer. I do see that now that in America, you're moving. You're constantly doing something. But now, since we had to sit down and think about things and see, where's my life going? You have time to pause now. We're paying attention and talking more. I do see that. Yeah, Shay says she agrees too. This is what I wanted to talk about right here. They did the same when my mom, I don't even want to say the words. Y'all see it. Barely any news coverage. I don't want to put salt on any wounds. I just want to ask, is she still alive? Did she make it? You don't have to tell me. I'm just asking. But I did put the link in the chat. I'm going to do it again. Y'all come up here. Like I said, you don't got to be a content creator. None of that. You just got to be a human being with a mind of your own. Or you don't have to have a mind of your own. You could just, I don't know, follow what everybody else says. Just what I'm saying is any and everybody is welcome to give their opinion. Either way, Bill, I'm sorry about that. Either way, I'm sorry for yes, most definitely. No, they did. Don't get me started on that. Oh, you know what, Jennifer? I already know that. They never went to Cal City. They never went to Cal City, and that's why they keep saying, "Oh, the Nexus and this and this and that." They never went to Cal City. The dogs didn't track their scent anywhere outside the house. The dogs, period, would have smelled those kids on that patio. When I already knew it was BS when I seen the video that AV got, and I'm happy he was able to do that because that made us see a lot that we wouldn't have even known. That told it right there. They were never there. Those dogs, if they were playing with that chalk right there, their scent would have been on the chalk. Then what made me really know is that a couple of days after that, there's somebody drew a flower with the chalk. It's a game. It's a game to them. So they could put something on them. It just disgusts me how they don't. And in California, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, some, what would that be, more western sides of Texas, they human trafficking is like that. Taking kids, there's nothing, they don't care. It's normal. She cried during the interview with us. Oh, see, that's why people are like, you should do this, and you should I'm going to I'm doing my journalism classes, criminal justice, philosophy, psychology. And I'm just sometimes I feel like I'm not built for anything like that because I show my emotions a lot. And to deal with what makes me upset is when it's children. Yeah, I understand. I do other cases too. But I think I will let my emotions show more than I should in a professional, state. So I'm kind of tiptoeing through these courses. I don't know if I really am cut out for it. Yes, Jeanette, zero pressure. Nothing's being... First of all, Jackie they should have already looked into her for what she's been doing at the job she last had. Have all these people looking like, they're related to her. She's taking their information, not helping them out. That whole situation was messy as hell. They know what this family is doing, and I feel like because certain people work in certain industries, they're not really trying to make it too messy. They could have took her for that, because there's no reason why that little boy that we spoke to his mother, paperwork kept coming back and back and back. If you're supposed to be talking to her in Spanish so she's able to get the paperwork through, if she's going through you, why isn't it working? I believe what they do is prey on, kids that need a little extra work or help, and they prey on that. That's what I feel like that family is about. I'm sorry. Just how I see it. 2015. And you said it was by the cops? Bill, you can pop up here. Bill, you know what? Your name is Bill Gates to me, okay? Bill, because I can't do Bell. It doesn't work for me. It just, the two words together doesn't work for me. It's going to always turn up to being Bill. I want to look. Do you mind if I look into that? I don't want to do it if it, you know what I mean? I don't want to start digging if that's not something you would respect that I did, or if you just like, I don't want to. If you would have a problem with that, because I am nosy. Sorry. All right, let's hear the quick little update and what Mr. Matthew. And Matthew, if you ever see this, I'm not sure if you did it. I don't think you did, but there's always a possibility. We just want more answers. I mean, at least talk to the family if you ain't did nothing. I don't understand what that could hurt. Say what exactly happened. She went, she came back. Who knows? They probably could look into it. And when she went to, I'm not on nobody's side, family or not. I'm just saying what it could be. When she went outside, I believe we're going to listen to it again. He said she didn't come back with anything. She didn't go get anything from her brother. So was she like, hey, bro, like, give me some of that, come over here, give me some of that, whatever. And it ended up being laced with something else. And they're just not trying to say that. Or did he bring it? I'm not on nobody's side. I'm always on the truth. So let's just go and see the news.
I'm Vinny Politic. Great to have you with us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And we begin this hour with the story of a 23-year-old young woman from Bridgeport, Connecticut, who died. She was...
What happened? No,
this entrepreneur brand logo.
Don't do it to me. All right, y'all.
But then was found dead. She had met a man on the dating app Bumble. Lauren Smithfields is her name. They were together that night. He is the one who called 911.
Hold on. See, something is going on right now. There has been now 7 cases I've been looking at, and they all have the last name Smith. This is starting to be like eerie to me. Your mom's last name is, wow, okay.
When he says he found her unresponsive.
The
family, not satisfied with the way the investigation was going, has put a lot of pressure on City Hall, on the police, and now some things are happening in the case, including the medical examiner finally, since December 12th, releasing a report claiming, ruling the death accidental, but finding fentanyl and other prescription drugs in her system.
Okay, so for those that have not been following the story, I'm just going to bring you up to speed because he's not saying all the drugs that was in the system. So she was found, she went on this Bumble date with this guy. She was found to have fentanyl in her system. She was found to have 2 antihistamines, which is hydroxyzine and promethazine, not with codeine. They do not say any codeine was in there. So promethazine and hydroxyzine are both for itching and can be used for anxiety as well. And tequila. Now you're going to hear what Matthew's lawyer says. Oh, I don't know where the alcohol came from. It was said that he brought the alcohol. He bought the alcohol. He also gave her $40 to get her nails done. The family says it was lube on the dresser, half using, is that a word y'all using? Halfway used. And it wasn't like a big one. It was like a one-time use one, halfway used. And there was a condom there as well. They say, I'm not going to say for sure, with, jizz in there. The police says, hold on. I hate talking on a little side. Let me take this down. The police says, they both were fully clothed. They don't feel like, he tried to do anything. But where did this condom and lube come from? Why wasn't he fully investigated? Why didn't they fully look into the case? They're just like, oh, no, he's a nice guy. But then people come out and say that also went on dates with him. No, he was weird. He was this. He was that. And y'all don't look into him. Is it because she's African American? And he's he looks like a hiker. He looks studious. So you don't look into it? She's gorgeous. Let's continue.
The big question is, how did it get in her system? There's a criminal investigation that is underway. Let me read for you from the incident report. I think it's important because Matt LaFountain, who was the man that she met on Bumble, the dating app, called 911. And here's what, according to the police incident report, he said. He went on to say that they began drinking shots of tequila and Lauren became ill. She went to the bathroom to vomit and was apologetic when she returned. They then decided to drink the tequila with mixers. Then,
so you guys hear that. And then I want you to keep this locked in. And I also want you to hear what his lawyer is going to say. Because it says, he went on to say that they began drinking shots. They began drinking shots of tequila and Lauren became ill. She went to the bathroom to vomit and was apologetic. Okay? They then decided to drink the tequila with mixers. He has to know where it came from. What, did she already have it there or did you buy it? So let's listen to when the lawyer comes on.
Told him that her brother was going to be dropping something off to her. She went outside.
Her brother was going to be dropping something off to her. Now, what was he going to be dropping off? Like I told y'all, I'm not the person to play on either side. I'm all for the truth. Now, if the brother, they're pushing it all on Matthew. But can't we look at it as, okay, what was he dropping off? He could have dropped her off something. We don't know, like this other story. Was brother the plug? They say, oh, no, she never was known to use drugs. A lot of people aren't known to use drugs, but that doesn't mean they don't use drugs. So let's continue. Because what he's going to say next is he never saw the brother. When she came back in, she went straight to the bathroom and she stayed in there for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. What was she doing? Y'all, don't choose sides in anybody's death. Because if it's on anyone's hands, they need to be responsible for it. Period. Let's go.
outside for a few minutes. He never saw the brother. When she came back in, she went straight to the bathroom and she stayed there for 10 to 15 minutes. They continued to watch the movie and finished the bottle of tequila. Lauren fell asleep on the couch, so he carried her to the bedroom and laid her in her bed. He then laid down next to her. He woke up at approximately 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, and Lauren was snoring. He woke up again approximately 6.
Pause. Okay, so he took her in the bed, okay? 3 a.m. He gets up to go to the restroom. Lauren is snoring. I want to know what time did he take her in the room? Because if it was if it was the fentanyl and the alcohol mix, that just, because I'm like, how can both of the antihistamines do say don't drink alcohol with it and don't mix anything else with it. But if it's the fentanyl and alcohol combination that she had prior, I don't think it takes that long from, I think they said 11. We'll look at that. He woke up at 3. She's okay. 3 hours later, she's gone. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking for both sides. Let's go.
30 a.m. and she was laying on her right side. Blood was coming out of her nostril on the bed, and she was not breathing. That is when he called 911. The family.
And with that as well, sorry for pausing it. There's news clippings that I see say she was on her back. And then there's some saying that she was on her right side. And then they're saying that instead of the blood spot being up by the headboard or by the pillow, it was in the middle of the bed. Y'all gotta make it make sense for me. I don't know.
Questioning some of this, a lot of this. And we've been talking about this story, so we want to cover all sides of investigations that are ongoing and cases in court. We do it all the time here on Court TV. So we have a special guest joining us tonight by phone from Bridgeport, Connecticut, is the attorney for Matthew LaFountain. Peter Karianis is with us. Peter, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. I know it's kind of late in the night for you. You're working hard all day, but first, your reaction to the medical examiner's report that was released and the announcement that we've now got the narcotics task force, the DEA, all working on this criminal investigation.
Good evening. Thanks for having me tonight. It's been a long day for sure. My client's been patiently waiting behind the scenes. Of course, he maintains his innocence throughout this whole process. We're not surprised with the toxicology report. We've been waiting for this day. First and foremost, let me say that this is a tragedy to lose such a beautiful young woman named Lauren Smith Fields. And that should be the major focus of the investigation is this tragic event that's taking place. As we know, the DEA has now been involved to assist the city of Bridgeport with this investigation, and we have full and uttermost faith that the truth will come out for Mr. LaFountain.
Okay, now I want to give you an opportunity to respond to some things that we've heard from the family's attorney, Darnell Crossland. As a matter of fact, they filed a notice of claim. They're going to sue the city of Bridgeport, so they had to file their claim of notice, and they did that, and I want to read part of that.
And before he reads it, as they should be suing the crap out of them. And I'm not talking about no 100,000. I feel like they should be in the millions because they dropped the ball on this case from the beginning. There was no reason why the family should have been able to go in there, find condoms, find this, find that, and the police didn't take anything. They said, oh, he looks like a nice guy, accepted it, took her body, let him go home. Now, if that was one of my melanated kings out here, that would never happen. They would first handcuff him, put him in the back of the car, take him down to the station, and they're going to question him for about 12, 24 hours. He gonna be in there cold with some chips and a soda and a water bottle, tired.
According to the incident report, present at the scene was a white man named Matthew LaFountain. This man is old enough to be Lauren's father. Based on the way the scene was processed, there is reason to believe that Detective Cronin has some connection to Mr. LaFountain and may have unofficially arrived at the apartment to assist Mr. LaFountain in a cover-up around 3:30 a.m. prior to...
Ooh. Ooh. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold on. Bill, what if the condom in the bathroom wasn't his and he found it and snapped? Yo, these are all things that could happen. He like, wait. I came over here. I gave you money to get your nails done. We chilling. She probably didn't even expect for him to even be going into her room. They was probably just going to chill in the, in the living room and call it a night. He'd go home. But no, she ends up getting, intoxicated, not feeling well. He ends up taking her to the room. That's why he wakes up at 3 a.m. He got to go to the bathroom. He like, wait, I'm not, because they say she didn't do anything with him. Wait, there's lube in the bathroom? On it, wherever it was? There's a condom in here? She's trying to play. You right. The plot thickens. Wow, that's a deep one.
Claim they're going to sue the city of Bridgeport, so they had to file their claim of notice, and they did that, and I want to read part of that. According to the incident report, present at the scene was a white man named Matthew LaFountain. This man is old enough to be Lauren's father. Based on the way the scene was processed, there is reason to believe that Detective Cronin has some connection to Mr. LaFountain.
Wait. How is he old enough to be her father? I think don't quote me. I think he's 37. She's 23. Okay. All right. Sorry.
And may have unofficially arrived at the apartment to assist Mr. LaFountain in a cover-up around 3:30 a.m. prior to Mr. LaFountain officially dialing 911.
There is zero connection between any detectives and my client, Mr. LaFountain, in this matter. I just want to state that as a fact. And the media has been...
her father? That means he would have had to have her at like 13, 14. You know what? I'm not listening to that. That's
alleging that Mr. LaFountain is a married man who is 50 years old. That can be farther from the truth. He is single. He is 37 years of age. 37. I'm not sure if that makes him old enough to be the decedent's father in this case, but let's just set the record straight in that regard.
Single and 37. Gotcha. I want you to...
So, yeah. Her father? Nah.
Take a listen now. We've got, again, Darnell Crossland, who is the attorney for the family. I want you to hear what he had to say and then get your response to it.
Thanks.
Oh my God, I hate when they do this to me.
In this particular case, there's definitely toxicity, but where did the drugs come from? And why did they question this white man who met this young black girl on Bumble? This young girl didn't use drugs at all. She went to the gym every single day. She worked out. She didn't have any plastic surgery like a lot of these models have, like surgery. She had none of that. It's all natural. And the family is so close.
You know what? That irritates me that he keeps saying that, because what does that have to do with anything? What?
Girl didn't use drugs at all. She went to the gym every single day. She worked out. She don't have any plastic surgery.
She doesn't have any plastic surgery. What the hell does that have to do with anything? And then he says this.
like a lot of these models have, like surgery. She has none of that. It's all natural.
What the hell does that mean? So that means she can't buy.
And the family is so close, they knew that she wasn't using drugs or any other type of pills.
There's no way.
But yet still, this white man is just floating in the air, and there's no examination. Go to his house, check his credit card, see that he buy the tequila, see that he spiked the tequila.
Right.
He said that he slept with his clothes on and he never had sex. Yet we forced them to collect a condom with semen in it from the bathroom. And here we are a month later, the condom.
Nah, but according to Bill Gates, he says, what if the condom was not his and he snapped? Yikes. Okay, let's go.
Was collected finally 2 weeks after the death. And now we're 4 weeks and nothing has been submitted to the laboratory in Meriden, the forensic laboratory, for testing. So we are really at a loss here, and we're not going to stop until we get justice.
All right, Peter, the big question is, was there a sexual relationship between your client and Lauren?
There was no sexual relationship between the two. And
how does he know that? But that further makes me think that what Bill Gates is saying, because he's saying, nope, between the two, you got to look at the wording. There was no sexual anything between the two. So did he tell his lawyer something kind of similar to what Bill Gates is saying? Let's see.
Regarding the Bridgeport police and their investigation, I can't speak as to why they did X, Y, or Z, or why they didn't do X, Y, or Z. But the fact that Mr. LaFountain is a white male, plays no relevance in my mind as to whether or not Bridgeport properly investigated this case. As I stated earlier, the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration is now involved, and I'm sure that they will take all proper avenues to investigate this matter fully.
If your client's asked, would
FDA.
he submit his DNA?
What is the F?
Without a court order?
I would have to, I have no comment about that, whether or not you give a DNA sample at this time.
And is he still ongoing and willing to speak to investigators at this point?
He's been dealing with the investigators as from the onset of this case. He was the first one to discover her not breathing. He called 911. I believe he spent over 3 hours being investigated by the local authorities, and they didn't suspect him.
3 hours. What did I say? If he was an African American, minority, Hispanic, whatever, they wouldn't have did it for 3 hours. They're going to grill the life out of you. They're going to, they're going to slip you into, can I just do a Boca swab? Well, why not? Would you take a polygraph test? Well, why not? Come on, man.
Of any foul play. So he's been nothing but helping the authorities.
Gotcha. And I want you to take a listen. This is Lauren's brother who spoke to us last night on the program. He saw his sister that night, and in the statement that I read, your client, I guess, heard from Lauren that her brother was coming over. I want you to hear his description of what he was there doing that night and get your response to that as well.
The last time I saw Lauren, we went.
Hold on. I see one of my subbies asking for something. Naomi, can you give a brief recap about this story? Okay. So, let me come on camera real quick. Okay. Lakeem Jeter is, I don't want to mix the girls' names up, Lauren's brother. Where's my little thing? There we go. Boom. That's Lauren's brother. That's the one that I believe is the one that came to either, he says, I want you to hear what he says. I'm going to find it, but I'm going to tell you what the story's about while I'm looking for it. So this young lady, Lauren, let me pop her picture up here real quick. Lauren, she's on this dating site, Bumble. And I believe it was yesterday or the day before that, in the very beginning of the live, I go onto the Bumble site, I read what it's about, and they say that unlike other apps, they only allow the female in a heterosexual relationship, connection thing. They only let the female be the one to initiate the meeting. So that means Lauren had to go ahead and select him. So from my understanding, he gave her $40 to get her nails done. He comes over to her house. It's unsure if he brought the tequila or was already there, or she, whatever the case. And she goes downstairs to either get clothes from her brother because they went shopping, Christmas shopping, or give him the clothes, that whatever. But Matthew says no. She just went down there real quick. She didn't come up with anything. She was feeling sick. She went in there. She went in the bathroom for 10 to 15 minutes. She was apologetic that she wasn't feeling good. He takes her to the bedroom, lays her down, lays down next to her. They're finishing whatever movie they were watching, whatever the case may be. 3:00, he wakes up. He sees her there. She's snoring. He goes to the restroom. He goes back to sleep. He wakes up about 6-ish. And he notices that there's blood coming out of her nose and she's not breathing. He immediately calls 911. The police come and they're like, he seems like a stand-up guy. He called immediately. Like they said, they questioned him for like a little bit. Said, oh no, he's a good guy. So what they do, they don't even contact the family. They leave a note on the door. If you're looking for Lauren, call this number. They're confused. The landlord's like, oh, it's not good. Lauren's no longer. So they contact the number. The guy's being like super, standoffish with the mom. Well, whatever. So she's like, what? She gives the number to Lauren's father. He's like, I already talked to your wife. Like, your ex-wife, whatever it is. I don't got to say anything to you. Ask her. Why are you so cold-hearted? He's like, no, but I have questions that she may not have asked you. He's still being a little A. So they end up getting this lawyer to kind of look into it because they're just like ready to shut, close, done. The ME put it as a accidental death, acute intoxication. So she had the fentanyl, she had the promethazine, no codeine, hydroxyzine, and tequila in her system. So they're thinking that mix may have done it, but they're saying, like, how did the fentanyl get there? What did she go downstairs to get from her brother? We don't know that. If she even got anything from him or she was taken close to him, we don't know. The stories are different. So that's just a little briefing on it. Okay, let's go.
Shopping that day. Christmas shopping.
Oh, let me take that back so you can hear it.
A lot of I
was coming over.
I'm going to take that back a little bit just so you can see. This is her brother and what he says happened compared to what we heard earlier and what Matthew says happened.
I want you to hear his description of what he was there doing that night and get your response to that as well.
The last time I saw Lauren, we went shopping that day, Christmas shopping. Bought a lot of items. Came back to my mom's house just to show her a couple of things to hang out with her. Lauren ended up leaving the house. She took some of my clothes. I went to go grab my clothes. She looked perfectly fine. This gentleman said that she was intoxicated and drunk when he first met her. I didn't see any view of that. I mean, I knew my sister for 23 years. I've been around her my whole entire life. And she didn't look. She looked like regular her. upbeat, smiling, talking, laughing, joking, just regular Lauren.
Lakeem, let me ask you, to me, every time you're trying to put together what happened, timeline is so important. About what time did you see your sister that night, so we can see how?
All right, let's listen. Let's try to put a timeline together. Let's listen. Because he says after this, she gets, ill, and then he takes her to the room. They start watching movies. He takes her to the room, whatever. Let's see.
How large or small that window of time is when she appears normal to when she ends up dead.
I got phone records. I seen my sister around 11:50 that night.
11:50. So 12 o'clock.
Here's what $5 a month with Lemonade covers.
So 11:50, noon. That's noon, all right? Not noon, I'm sorry. Midnight, sorry. At night. So we're going to say midnight. So let's see what happens after that.
Okay, Peter, how does the timeline work out here? Now, he's saying that she seemed fine at 11:50 at night. What time do we know what time they fell asleep, as your client told investigators about that?
Yeah, I don't have any details about the time or the timeline of the events. Like I said, the authorities will investigate, who came to the house, who dropped off what, if at all. And let's not forget that the victim in this matter.
Who dropped off what, if at all? I hear his lawyer when he says who dropped off what, that he had to be saying that because Matthew told him something. He could have told him, yeah, she said her brother was bringing such and such and such. The brother could be probably covering his ass and saying, no, she was bringing me clothes. So who's telling the truth? Who was bringing who what? Or did she say, oh, I got to get some for my brother? So that's why he's saying that. Or does brother know he ended up giving her something and he's like, no, she was bringing me clothes. I don't know. Y'all, I don't know.
Lauren, this terrible tragedy and, loss of a beautiful life. Let's not forget that. And our sincerest condolences go out to to Lauren's family.
Absolutely. The alcohol that night. Did your client provide the alcohol? Was the alcohol at her home? Did they purchase it together?
I have no comments about any alcohol. I'm not aware of any who purchased it or who consumed it or where it came from.
Why would he say, I don't know who purchased it? Does he not want to say because Matthew already told him, hey, I bought it, but was it a sealed bottle? We don't know.
Let me ask you this. This case, obviously we're talking about it on Court TV. A lot of folks are talking about it. How is this impacting your client right now, all that's happening?
Obviously, this has been, my client's very upset about the whole situation. He was hanging out with a friend that he had recently met. He's very upset about the whole situation. Of course, he didn't wish this upon anybody. He's been wanting to give a statement for a while now. We've just kind of been keeping things quiet. And thanks to Frank Recchia from News 12 here in Connecticut today, who gave us the opportunity to give us our side of the story.
I'm not ignoring you. Watch this TV. I did show his Facebook on one of my other lives, but as soon as this is over, I'm going to talk to you about it.
And obviously, he's very upset as well.
So, the drug part of all of this, did your client see drugs that night? Did he see the pill that the family found afterwards? Did he see Lauren ingest anything? Did he ingest anything that night?
Regarding any drugs, he did not see any. He did not ingest any, and we have no idea what Lauren may or may not have done that night. Obviously, looking back at the toxicology report yesterday, we know that drugs were at play here, and that this was ruled an accidental overdose. So obviously drugs were at play with at least Lauren that night, but my client did not see any of that.
And did he just meet her that night?
My question is, did they test Matthew's, what is it called? I was going to say the letters, the blood alcohol level, blood alcohol level. Did they see if he really had alcohol in his system, or was he just allowing her to drink the alcohol because he put something in it? Did they see if he had a little bit of fentanyl in there? Did they see if he even messes around or anything with that? Did they? That's a question I have. I don't know, y'all. This case pisses me off because of how careless and sloppy they were with it. That's why it just bothers me.
Not sure about the timeline as to when they met.
So this may or may not have been the first time that they've gotten together?
Correct. Yeah, I'm not sure about the timeline as to when they first met. Correct.
All right. I also want to give you the opportunity. Anything else that you've heard anywhere reported that, from your perspective, is false, is not right, is wrong, that is being reported or said about what happened that night or your client?
Well, they've been portraying him as a 50-year-old married male, married with children, which is, couldn't be farther from the truth. So I would just ask that the people who are watching the story very intensely just let all the facts come out before they jump to any conclusions. I know he's been called a murderer. His parents have been called murderers. His family has been called murderers. I'd ask that people that ask all the facts come out before they jump to conclusions about what or may not have happened on that night. And like I said earlier, let's remember the real victim in this case, Lauren Smith Fields, who is no longer with us. Such a beautiful soul.
And does your client have any message for the family?
He's not going to be making any statements at this time.
Okay. If he does want to make a statement, he's welcome on this program. We're on every night, 3 hours every night, Peter. So that is an open invitation. Yep. We always want to cover every side of every story that we have on there. Peter Karayanis, attorney, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me. You have a great night.
Okay.
So this is how the package comes. It's a one-size-fits-all item. Okay, so I did want to show you guys how I'm...
Okay, stop it. We don't need to see all of that. We don't need to see her nalgas. So you said, does the date have a Facebook or the brother? I haven't looked into the brother. The date, he had a Facebook. He had a if you go on my videos, you can see he had a it said Matt, M-A-T-T, LaFountain, and then he had one that said Matt Thomas. But then he took them both down. They're not there anymore. So that's that. But I am going to go look at the brothers' shutters and see. Kind of check up on some things. Okay, so that is that. That's the only update we have on that. So the new cases we're looking into is the 16-year-old. I'm not digging too much into the 13-year-old with the 100, but if they get more information on that, I will sure bring you guys updates. Listen to this next case. It is a woman. After this, I have one more. So this is a short clip of a woman that who looked like a drug user. The pictures that I show, let me show you, if you're talking about Matthew, these are the pictures that you mostly see. This picture right here of Matthew and this picture right here of Matthew. If you're asking about the brother, in my last live, you can see the mom and the two brothers speaking about her, and you can make your own assumption to that. They don't look like drug users to me. If anything, maybe marijuana. I mean, but everybody kind of does that. I don't, because I have bad anxiety and I'll be like paranoid, but it didn't look like it to me. And with him, I don't know. So if that answers your question. Let's see. Okay. So, y'all, I found this to be crazy, and I wish this woman would give us more information to look into, because like I said, y'all know I'm nosy, and see if I could find this person. But she doesn't want to be. Just look. I'm happy that she did say something, though, so that way, if anything happens with some of the things that they stole or he stole, she won't be liable for it. So let's go ahead and see. Hey, you gotta press like 120 buttons before you can share a screen. So after this, guys, there's one more case that's real crazy to me. Some guys were fishing, and instead of pulling up a fish, they got a dead body. So we'll do that one after this.
This woman tells us she gave all of the evidence to the Harris County Sheriff's Office. She says what happened to her should not have happened at all. Now she's dealing with the grueling aftermath and says this man needs to be off the streets.
There's so many mixed emotions that you have, and then you have to fight to get justice.
A woman fighting for accountability after she says she was drugged, robbed, and then raped. She says it all started when she and her girlfriend went out Friday night, later meeting up with a friend and his friend at an after-hours lounge.
She came off nice.
Paying admission, and then...
He bought the 2 drinks. She brought it back to the table.
After that...
Drank the drink and... nothing else. I remember nothing else.
Her ring video shows the man brought her home in her own truck, attempting to carry her inside. She says she was drugged.
I was out of there.
Later that morning,
I wake up in my bedroom with my britches down there.
She says in her...
nothing else. I remember.
Don't even listen to her. Look at how she's being carried. How did he even know where she lived is my question. If she met him this night, he put something in her drink. How does he even know where she lives? Or was this a previous... Just watch.
For nothing else.
Her ring video shows the man brought her home in her own truck, attempting to carry her inside. She says she was drugged.
I was out of there.
If he was a true suspect, why are they covering his face? This is what I don't understand. You're being mean, Layla.
Later that morning,
I wake up in my bedroom with my britches down to my ankles.
A condom wrapper next to her, and
my tooth is broken.
Turning to her ring video.
Her tooth was broken. What type of essay was she dealing with? Your tooth broken? How did this man know where everything was is my question. I feel like she's not being fully transparent, and that's what gives me pause about her story. I don't know if she's doing it because maybe she had a boyfriend. She's like, oh, this guy did this to me and whatever. I feel like there's more to this story, and that's why she doesn't want to be seen. She's not allowing them to even show his face because I think it could be something else. You guys let me know what you guys think, and we'll go from there.
She also saw this.
Then he goes into my truck and gets out my .32 Beretta.
She says video shows him taking her legally owned weapons to the side of the home.
Then he gathers all the guns from the side of the house with a white trash bag. He puts my guns in them, puts them on the back of my truck.
And then gets picked up.
I want justice.
Now she's fighting for it.
They gave me a boatload of medications to take, shots.
She wants...
Pause. She goes out with her friends. Her friend. Come back with drinks. She says she's been drugged, okay? He carries her to the house. If she's drugged, he's carrying her. She's incoherent. How does he know where to drive to? Then he knows exactly what she has in her car. Maybe he's seen it, the Beretta. But then how does he know to go to the side of the house and get the rest of the guns? We're missing something here. He gets that, he does something, whatever, and he gets in another car. She's not saying something. That's all I gotta say. She's
this man behind bars off the streets because there's another Friday coming up. There's another Saturday coming up, and there's another girl out there.
Now, the Harris County Sheriff's Office is investigating, but she says that man has not been charged.
Look, and you're so right. Either she's on some messy crap, got another man, and she's trying to make this seem like this just happened out of nowhere, or her friend set her completely up, told this guy where everything was, could be dating the guy or the guy that came and picked her up, something like that, to where he knew exactly where to take her. He knew she had that Beretta in the car. He knew that there was guns and all that on the side of the house. Come on, man, it don't make sense. She was messing around with him. Either she was messing around with him or her friend was messing around with him and planned to drug her to get things she knew her friend had. Her friend, like I said, had, because I do feel like a situation. I was talking to whoever was in the live the other night. Of course, I take a lot of stuff down. You can have friends that act like they're super your friend, down for you, but really trying to get with either the guy you're with or is dealing with, his friends, something to where they're shaded to you, knowing where you keep all your stuff at, even if it's not just guns, jewelry, money, whatever. She's in helping them drug you. Like I said, I think that my so-called friend at the time was helping this person in the industry to drug me. I really do feel that way, because after it was like, why would you be hanging out with him? And you see what happened to me. It just didn't make sense. So it's one or the other in this situation. Messy.
She says she hopes her story will warn others, as she says no one should have to go through this. Reporting live from the Harris County Sheriff's Office, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC 2 News. This woman tells...
Look, I'm telling y'all, something's going on with Texas, okay? Because a lot of the cases that are just like popping up on my phone, like bing, bing, bing. And I don't even take all of them. Houston, 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 Houston. I'm like, yo, I wouldn't want to live there. Texas is tough, 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 tough. Watch This TV says, how did he know that nobody was... See, that's what I'm saying. Either she's been dealing with him and she's been confiding in him, like, oh, I'm with this guy or whatever, or she's by herself or she's with her mom, whatever, okay, whatever, giving him information about her that he knew where everything was, or it was her friend that she went out with that set her up. That's the only thing I could think about. It's the only thing I could think of. All right, y'all. So this next case is about, okay, two men were fishing on, hold on, let me move this. Two men were fishing on a Florida lake, made a grim discovery after their line pulled up a man's body. I don't know what I would do if I'm fishing, because I barely get bites when I'm fishing. I don't like to go fishing. If I'm like, yo, I gotta, and then I pull up a body. Yo, 18-year-old Trey Pitts and 20-year-old Christopher Cordell were fishing at Lake Stella when Cordell's line snagged up on something. When Cordell reeled it in, the two men realized that they had pulled up a man's body to shore. That sounds like a scary movie. I was very shocked, Cordell said. My mind is kind of blown because the last thing I'd ever imagined to reel up would be a dead body. So it's kind of nerve-taking in many ways. Pitt said they had no idea what they were reeling in, but he had a suspicion because the day before he found a pair of shoes by the water and saw something he didn't recognize. We thought it was kind of weird. So the next day I came back. Pitts came back. So the next day Pitts came back by himself. And then that's what goes on. So, look at this, y'all. I don't know what I would do. I would probably, I don't know. I'm easy to just start throwing up. So I'm just like, before I do this, I just want to check up on you guys. Right? How didn't he know anybody was home? I got that one. She had been dealing with him. And it would, hey. He started seeing some things he didn't like. Hey, babe, come out here. Yeah. Obviously, he's not arrested. So there's a lot more to the story, because if they're looking for a suspect, they would not block the face out. They would not do that. So something else is going on. And if she's dumb enough to think there's not, and they would be blocking this guy's face, and they're totally believing her, she's wrong. There's more, a lot more. Exactly. I mean, let's go. It's the last story, y'all. I'm gonna head out. Oh no, I hate when I do that. Sorry. I don't know. I like to start you guys from the beginning.
Welcome back. Before the break, I shared the story of two young men who reeled in a dead body while fishing at a Florida lake. Christopher Cordell and his friend Trey Pitts are here with me, along with Trey's dad in the middle. That's Brian Pitts, who came to their rescue. Thank you, all three of you, for joining me tonight. Christopher, let me begin with you, because as I understand it, you had the fishing rod. I'm just curious about what went through your mind when you realized what it was you had reeled in.
Well, I was very shocked, kind of mind blown in a way, because it was the last thing I'd ever imagined to reel in would be a dead body. So it's kind of nerve-taking in many ways.
I can imagine. Trey, did you realize at the same time what it was, and was there anything specific that stood out to you that made you realize what that mass was that you were pulling towards you?
Yeah, so at first, we really didn't know what it was. And I was there by myself before Chris ever arrived. And we was sitting down there. And the day before this happened, we seen a pair of shoes sitting down there just up against the water. And we thought it was kind of weird. So the next day I came back by myself about 10 o'clock. And I realized there was something floating by the fountain. So I sat there, I was like, maybe it'll float in about like 2 hours or so. And I caught a fish, and then I hit Chris up and was like, hey, I caught something. You want to come down here? Maybe we can catch some more. And so we walked down there. By that time, it was about halfway across the lake. And we were like, maybe it's a mannequin, maybe a big piece of driftwood. And we were like, let's let it float in a little bit more to where we can actually reach it and hook into it. And so once we hooked into it and got it about 10 feet away from us, that's when we realized it was a body. And it was just nerve-wracking.
I can only imagine, and Brian, that's your boy, he called you.
Yeah.
You hear, I just can't imagine what you heard on the other side of that phone line.
Yeah, they were pretty nervous. At first I was like, you gotta be kidding. They were pretty adamant that they wasn't joking. So that's when I got down there. We live real close to it. They walk down there all the time, and there's a school. It's a real small town. It's really beautiful, actually. Everybody kind of like walks around this for exercise, and rollerblading and things of that nature. So for that to be the phone call based upon where they was, that was I didn't believe it either at first. So I get down there, and sure enough, what they said it was is what it was. I mean, you could see the guy's tattoos and things of that nature. So that's, as soon as I seen it, that's when I called the police and got them down there. So yeah,
Probably not a moment too soon. Christopher, tell me what happened when the police arrived. Like, explain everything that happened after that. Because right up until then, it was the three of you. And then I can imagine all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, so when the cops showed up, they ended up separating us three. And they got all of our stories. And then we ended up having to wait around so we can actually get the rest of our fishing gear. They were willing to give it back, but just not right then when we were wanting it to. But
Brian, have you heard anything other than the official report? And I'll just let you know what the details came out in the press release. It's a 40-year-old white male, a local resident, had recently returned to the area, likely in the water for 24 to 48 hours. No obvious signs of trauma. Autopsy pending, and they're not releasing the name of the deceased until the next of kin. Have you heard anything else above and beyond that, like foul play or an identity yet?
Yeah, there's speculation of identity. I had some friends reach out to me that believed that one of their friends was a family member. So I instructed them to go ahead and go down to Arvindale Police Department and, identify their self and try to, get that whole ball rolling. Yeah, he was around 40 years old, about 5'8", 5'9". Yeah, that's about all that we really know. We know it's in the medical examiner's hand on, what went down with him. It was weird that, there was no clothes on the bank, but he didn't have any clothes but his boxers and socks on. So the shoes that my son was talking about on the bank that he seen the day before and that day, we're guessing that those belonged to him. They were brand new Nike shoes. The whites on the shoes were brand new. There weren't even creases in the shoes. They were
did he
new
kill
shoes.
himself?
So to be sitting by themselves
Commit suicide? I don't know.
right there on the bank was kind of telltale signs that they might belong to him. But then, we were curious, well, where's the rest of his clothes? Did he just walk down there in shoes and boxers? At this point, we don't know. Who's being speculated that it is. I don't know the person. So
better not to
if
anyway.
the names match up with what we're hearing, then I didn't know the person personally, but.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the police report as well. We're gonna follow the story to just to find out if this was just someone who took his own life or if this was something more nefarious. But Brian, thank you for that. Christopher and Trey, thanks for sharing your story, and I'm wishing you guys well because that's a really traumatic thing you guys have been through. So thank you for telling us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's Ashley Banfield, and I don't know, but these stories I am going to be continuing to look into. Maybe not so much that one. But for sure, a young lady that was 16-year-old in LA, for sure, because that's in my state. So I'm going to be in on that one. Possibly because the 13-year-old situation and because he's a child. And I'm already dealing with Lauren's situation, and they're both Connecticut. We'll do that as well. But it's kind of late. I'm going to be wrapping it up. I know I'm the last one to say it's late because I'm on the West Coast. And a lot of my subbies are from either Central or Eastern. Y'all it's super late for us. Yeah, I did get a late start today because I was trying to get things done for tomorrow. But I'll be on tomorrow. If there are any updates, I'll come on earlier than I'm going to come on before I do. Because I'm going to start doing like I did when I was in the beginning of doing YouTube and talking about stories that are out there either missing, mysteries, either solved, whatever, and like giving all the information on certain cases. Just getting all the information. I'm just going to put it all together from like the internet and the research I do and just tell you guys about different cases on Fridays. That's what I'm going to start doing. So Watch This TV says something fishy about that. Yes. Like he had no clothes on. It was just boxers and socks. There were shoes on the edge. No creases. They look brand new. So either this person committed suicide, and that's what it sounds like, but it couldn't be. Somebody could have set it up like that. I hope they're able to find the shoes, do some DNA swabs, see if people put them on them, see if people left them there, whatever. But, or he said he knew some family members or some family members of the possible person. And if they know he had suicidal tendencies, that will tell more. But yeah, so I'll let you guys know. Real recognize real. I need you to get a Instagram. My love, you got to get an Instagram because that's normally where I post stuff before I come on, either there or Facebook. So, and in order to win stuff, and I want you guys all to win stuff, you have to be following, not all of my social medias, but you got to at least be following both my pages. This one, and Naomi China D. My second page, Naomi China D ×2. You also have to be following my Instagram, my Facebook, and Layla's Instagram as well. There's one more, but why can't I think of it right now? I'm about to make a whole little video about it anyway, because people are like, wait, I gotta follow this, that. I do have a TikTok. I don't really get TikTok. I'm kind of old. I don't even know how to edit stuff. So I'm trying to get stuff on. Oh, and my Twitter. So there we go. Those are the 6 you have to follow to either win the $100 or to win, depending how things are going with my freebie ones, how many gift cards I'm going to give out. I'll be drawing the free, which is this container, the free raffle tickets, which you get if you are the first 5 in the conversation, in the chat. Going. I'll tell you guys who won that. I'm going to go back and look, and they go in here. Also on Saturdays, I do game night, answer the questions correctly. Your ticket goes in here. There's nothing you have to do. The $100 one is this one right here. The gold one. It's starting to get a little bit bigger, but it's like the same couple of people. So, I mean, they're getting multiple tickets. Somebody in that little circle is, of course, bound to win. And then I allow them to say, do they want the whole 100 or do they want to split it and give another person 50-50? If they do that, I give the person that I first picked 4 tickets to go into the next one automatically without doing anything extra. So that's if they want to share. So yeah, guys, if there's no more questions, I'm going to head out. Let's see. I want to answer this first. The dad knows somebody who may know him. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. They probably have the guy in know. And since the dad is saying that, I believe the family would know, like, was he kind of depressed? Was he this? Was he that? Or did he show nothing? Do they know he was dealing with a certain crowd of people? What happened here? And they seen something floating off, in the distance and was waiting for it to wash up. So we shall see, y'all. I will keep you guys updated. I love you guys for hanging out with me. I'm all over the place and you guys still rock with me. I love it. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.